Well, creepy Uncle Joe is back in the news again. And of course, we are talking about 2020 presidential hopeful Joe Biden, former vice president to Barack Obama, who, of course, the media and some individuals are having an absolute breakdown trying to defend some of his behavior, which, of course, we are going to critically look at because, Jason, we just did a video about this not so long ago. And in the video that we did, we showed you video after video after video of so many women, even children, being made extremely, extremely uncomfortable. Maybe, Jason, we could even play some of those clips if that's possible, if we could search it so we could play it later in the background, because people need to see this context. And we described in great detail the amount of discomfort that this politician has caused women and children and said, hey, this is not okay. But according to some media organizations and celebritards, this is okay, as we have a news article here from the Washington Post that is titled, Joe Biden's affectionate physical style with women comes under scrutiny. I want to break down that article in just a little bit. It's also Piers Morgan who's saying if Joe Hugger Biden, one of America's most decent, oh lordy, Jason, me and you know about him, especially in the 9/11 days. He's definitely not that decent. He said, Piers Morgan goes on, isn't virtuous enough to be president? Then who the hell is? Wow, absolutely crazy statement. Now, obviously, Joe Biden had a very bad week. And from the videos that we covered with so many people coming forward, we now first had initially a woman in Las Vegas coming forward, accusing him of making her feel extremely uncomfortable. Now we have a second woman accusing Joe Biden of inappropriate behavior, saying, quote, I thought he was going to kiss me. Another article here by The Hill is titled, Two More Women Accuse Biden of Inappropriate Touching. And even the U.S. President Donald Trump has used this opportunity for, of course, a political pun. Jason, do you want to introduce this and give us your take?
Yeah, this clip was pure gold. And when he says stuff like this, Luke, it's hard not to like the guy. It really is.
My people tell me 2 years. What do you think? 1 week, sir. I said, General, come here, give me a kiss. I felt like Joe Biden. But I meant it. See, I meant it. Big difference. I meant it.
Oh, I love it. And later on, he tells me he's not having a good week. But it's hard when he's like throwing it out there, and Biden is obviously. I mean, let's look at the second woman's account, right, Luke? Let's. It wasn't sexual, but he did grab me by the head. He put his hand around my neck and pulled me in to rub noses with me. When he was pulling me in, I thought he was going to kiss me on the mouth. You know what, Luke? I know we haven't seen each other in person in a couple years, but I guarantee you, the moment I see you, I'm pulling you in for a nose nuzzle, and you'll think that's perfectly okay. You know. I would say there's going to be a lot more. You know, these two are literally coming out yesterday. Two more, that makes four. This one's Caitlin Caruso and DJ Hill. So, you know, there's tons of these stories. Let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we see them unfold on national television a lot of times when women recoil and are in shock and like freak out, like, this dude doesn't know how to read social dynamics, micro-expressions, and body language at all because he keeps going in there and just being very inappropriate. Now, of course, the defenders of Biden are the media and some individuals who are saying, no, this is just harmful, this is just it's harmless, there's just playing around. No, he's making people feel uncomfortable, and this should be addressed, and he should be smart enough to not keep doing this for the amount of years that he has been doing. Now, this Washington Post article reads and says, this is the article. Defenders have argued that Biden's intentions are innocent, even when his behavior seems problematic. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, it's very problematic. On Saturday, women who previously worked for Biden began to circulate testimonials defending his character and personal conduct, an effort meant to rebut Flores' accusation. So this is pretty much the Me Too movement just kind of eating itself alive right now. Not only the Washington Post, but so many other people, including your favorite character, Piers Morgan, who came out in support of him. But again, to me, there's no defending it. The discomfort is very clear. It should be something addressed. It should be something stopped. And seeing these people fight absolutely shows you a lot of duplicitous hypocrisy in who they support and what they stand for, because they don't support for virtuous morals and doing the right thing and making sure that someone doesn't make other people feel uncomfortable. They don't believe in that. They believe in their gang. And if that violates their gang kind of mentality, they, of course, skew their reporting on it. I mean, now, 2 women are coming out. I mean, come on. This is something that, again, I don't know, Jason, what do you think of this argument that this is all innocent, he's not doing anything wrong, and this is just what people are saying, an overblowing of the Me Too movement? What's your take on that kind of argument being made as well?
It's a terrible argument, and for me, reading that Washington Post, let's just go through them because I read them all. The Washington Post article really tries to dance around the issue that he's touching children in an inappropriate manner, which we showed over and over again in our last video. We showed a little bit of a highlight earlier of that, but they whitewash that. They try to play it, he's just affectionate. And then Piers Morgan doubles down. He says the same thing, and he even tries to invoke Joe Biden's adult dead children. For those that don't know, Joe lost 2 children. He lost his son to brain cancer. I think he was only like 46 years old. And, they're showing all these. There he is at the funeral, all these heartfelt things. There's the daughter that he lost. So, listen, I'm not trying to come down on Joe Biden, but why are you invoking that when that has nothing to do with his behavior towards women and girls? He's painting him in a manner that he wasn't the vice president to a regime where we had the biggest banker bailout scam ever, where drone use just went over the top into full gear, where we went into Syria. Remember, he was a senator out there on the floor talking about Pakistan and how they needed to get in line with the war on terror, basically threatening them, after he knew damn well that the head of the Pakistani ISI, General Mahmoud Ahmed, who he met with in the days after 9/11, had funded them. This is
I confronted him on that, and he confirmed that. He confirmed that to me individually, personally. Absolutely. That should be the bigger conversation here. The bigger geopolitical aspects of how this guy's mainly just a political hack. His political policy should be discussed here. Not this stuff. But when it comes to this stuff, I do believe there is some merit. I actually find myself believing this BuzzFeed news headline who says everyone already knows how they feel about Joe Biden touching women. And I think it's pretty clear. But there are people running defense, which shows amazing hypocrisy, which, again, we've seen the media predominantly push out the Me Too movement, talking about how all men are bad, all men are sexist, all men are pigs. But when it comes to specific individuals, whether it's rappers or politicians or celebrities connected to politicians like Kevin Spacey, or specifically here Joe Biden, they're like, wait, hold on. They're trying to logically figure out the math here and being like, no, this is okay. The huge amounts of women he made feel extremely comfortable. No, it's not. It's not okay to make people feel uncomfortable. This is a real issue that needs to be dealt with. And Jason, overall, it does need to be addressed, but I wish we could have some substantive actual policy conversations around this man, because if you look at just the policies of Joe Biden, they're as horrible as his behavior here that he demonstrates physically, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I actually, with this BuzzFeed article in particular, I actually really agree with a lot of the things that's said, and it's unfortunate. They talk about how sometimes they feel like they're living in an AI simulation, because they just say, listen, on one side, the people that have seen this stuff and just hate Joe Biden, they see one thing. The other people that support Joe Biden, they want to defend him. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I've looked at the man's policy. I've seen him shift back and forth. I can see why he's a likable figure. I used to talk about, he's Joey B. It's friggin' Joey B over here, huh? There's a reason he's gotten as far as he has in politics. He's a very good politician in that respect. Shaking hands, kissing babies. And then you see how creepy it gets later on. And you got to say, wow, this is completely inappropriate. But more so, like you said, Luke, his record speaks for itself. He's a globalist. He's pro-war. He's pro-authoritarianism. He's not somebody I want to see in office, regardless of these allegations, which, by the way, aren't allegations. There's video evidence everywhere. Everywhere. It's not an allegation, guys. Like, you can watch it for yourself. So I'm just going to say this, Luke. I really hope that he doesn't announce his bid for presidency. I hope he fades off into the darkness where he needs to. Or if he's committed crimes outside of what he's done politically, he gets prosecuted for those. And for the crimes he has politically committed, maybe he wants to repent for his sins and start leaking information or telling the public what really happened on 9/11 and who was really responsible. Hey, Joe.
Well, this is, yeah.
Hey, Joey B.
Hey,
what do
creepy
you
Uncle
think?
Joe, stop touching people. It's like, that's simple. Stop making them feel uncomfortable, you dummy. This is really the defining moment. This is really going to highlight if he will be the major contender, because obviously everyone already sees him as the major contender, but it does show a lot of duplicitous virtues, morals, and pretty much shows me that these individuals protecting them, who are the biggest proponents of Me Too, absolutely have none, which again is just another documented case of. And if you appreciated it, share it with your friends and family members, because the more people that speak out against Joe right now, the less likely it will be that he will actually be able to run. These people depend on your compliance, your acquisition, you allowing them to have authority over you. Don't give them any authority. Criticize them, scrutinize them, hold their feet to the fire, and just say no to anyone having power over you. If you thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.